started on my end.
Oh, still spinning on my end. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the next installment of our weekly developer sync. I'm going to go around and get an update on what everybody's working on. Nazar, can you go first, please?
Sure. Actually, not much on development side from me. Just a few bug fixes and small tweaks, and a bunch of code reviews. I was primarily working on research on the networking side for DSN. How can we build something that will combine farmers and nodes and allow to discover pieces and objects in more or less generic way? So I was digging a lot through the peer-to-peer documentation and specifications, through the documentation on the substrate implementation, through IPFS, IPLD, and a bunch of other specifications. Have some thoughts on that, have some ideas what can be done. Did some experiments. I was able to take peer-to-peer and build a small client that connects to the substrate-based Subspace node via DHT and can do like a lookup. But that is not, I think, what we will eventually end up doing. So that occupied most of my time.
Very cool. I'm jealous. I wish I had time to do that kind of research. Does anybody have any questions for Nazar? Okay. Well, let's sync up after the infrastructure call and we can talk about that some more. Okay. Liu-Cheng, you're up next.
Okay. So last week, first thing I was working on making the embedded subspace node in Cumulus able to think the subspace network. And then I spent 2 days doing some research on the overseer integration into the subspace node. And I submitted some refactorings to the subspace node that are necessary for our serious development. And then I have been working on making the collator nodes produce block on the new primary chain block by integrating a minimal overseer. And I have make the stripped overseer that contains a few subsystems that seem to be necessary and make it compile. Yeah. Basically, this is on my end.
Awesome. So we're at the point where the code compiles, but it's not actually producing blocks yet.
Yeah, I believe they will definitely panic.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And what's your estimate right now on how many more days that's going to take you?
I believe this time it might take more than working on the embedded substrate node. So I think it can take 2 or 3 days to make it actually produce blocks, because the networking stuff is kind of tricky sometimes.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see. We'll need to probably set up another meeting before Thursday to go through it. Okay, great. Glad to hear the progress on that. Any questions for Liu-Cheng? All right, Ozgun, you're up next.
Okay, I was dealing with integration tests, especially for the farming instance. And there were a lot of bugs which consumed most of my time, but they're all fixed on Saturday. And today I polished up all the code. Now it's ready for production. It's submitted as a PR. And I will work on plotting integration tests for the next upcoming days.
Okay. This is independent of batch plotting. This is just testing the existing plotting that we have.
Yeah, I've talked with Nazar. Yeah, we can discuss the details in the upcoming call. Yeah, this is independent of batch encoding at the moment.
Okay. And when is our next farmer call? That's tonight, right? We're doing
Infrastructure
call
tonight.
sync. Yeah.
It's a core protocol, but I think we can talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, let's discuss it at that point. Okay, we can discuss decoupled execution more there too for the next meeting. Okay. All right. Any questions for Ozgun? Okay, Serge, you're up next.
Yeah, so I've been working on relay test, specifically relay module, since Friday, and I had to do a lot of refactoring to make it more testable. And yeah, so it's not full testing yet, but I think I will submit PR today. So should be enough for a start because it already looks like a big PR. And also, I've been doing research on using GitHub packages as an alternative to Docker Hub. And yeah, basically, I tested on a Relayer repository. I created GitHub action, and I will give you more details on the next call. And that's it.
Okay. Yeah, let's try to wrap up the tests within the next day or two. I know we could spend a lot of time on this, but we've got a time box.
Yeah.
To move on to other things.
I will submit PR today.
Okay, great. I know we need them. Okay. Any questions for Serge from the group? All right, Leo, you're up next.
Hi guys. Well, last week I got like an updated version of the Relayer frontend. I was working mainly on that and trying to close most of these UI changes we talked last week. Still got a couple of pendings, but it is working. I think that good for now. I wanted to move forward with the Subspace and on the weekend I got this initial version to make a put request from a JavaScript client, and it is working. So today I think that I still need to implement a couple of things like getting the events to return like the event data from the put extrinsic transaction. And I also, today we created this test RPC C9 record to have this blue-green deployment. So right now the test RPC is linked to the Arias test A environment. And yeah, I think that's my update for the last couple of days.
Awesome. Thanks, Leo. Sounds like you've been doing a lot. We'll talk about the deployment in more detail on the next call for sure.
Yeah.
Any questions for Leo? Okay. Justin, you're up next. Can you hear me, Justin? You're muted. Oh, actually, you're not muted.
He said in the chat 1 sec, having the audio
I see.
issues. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, while we're waiting on Justin to fix his audio issues, I can go ahead and give my update. So I have mainly been working on the other business matters at hand at this time, but I have been, or we have been doing a lot of coordination. Yewon and I have been doing a lot of coordination on the announcements that we have coming out next week as well. So we'll talk about the prep for that on the next call. And on the engineering side, I have not been doing too much. I've just been quite busy on the business side here this last week, and I will continue to be this week. Yeah, I don't really have any updates on the engineering side right now, unfortunately. Any questions for me? Okay, Justin, do you want to go to second try? Okay. Okay, anything we need to discuss as a group?
Yeah, I wanted to ask something to Justin actually about Datadog updates.
Hey, Justin,
Maybe
why don't you
you
just
can-
try rejoining?
Maybe you can answer to me, Jeremiah, about I think that the trial account was done and we needed an update.
I think we've upgraded
Better
to
than
the
me.
paid version, so it should work.
Nice, thanks.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Justin told me he took care of that, but I didn't know. I have not confirmed.
Can you guys hear me now?
We can.
There we go. Not sure what happened there. Apologize.
I think Google must have pushed an update or something because everybody's having issues today.
Yeah, it's being weird, that's for sure. But over the past couple days, I've been working on the ambassador program and working with the ambassadors. They've been all starting to get pretty active, so it's pretty exciting to see them start to move forward. I did a little bit of an audit over Telegram and Discord to ensure that we're ready for some of the announcements that will be made this week and over the next couple weeks, just because we may see some traffic increase from there. I submitted a pull request for the status page. I submitted an update to it last night, Nazar. I'm not sure if you saw that. I know you initially commented when I submitted it last week.
Just request review, please, if you do that.
Oh, okay, can do. And then beyond that, just a couple other little minor things. I know Leo mentioned, like I got Datadog updated, or upgraded rather, and some things along those lines. You said you had a question, Leo?
Yeah, it was about Datadog, just making sure we updated to the paid plan.
Yeah, we got upgraded to the paid plan. They have a couple different like options, whether it be like pay as you go or pay ahead of time. As it stands, we just went with, I just did the pay as you go plan because I figured we're still kind of getting that whole configuration set up as we want it, you know.
Yeah, probably early next year we'll go through and do a review of all these counts and pay for them out longer, but everything should be month to month for now.
Perfect.
All right. Any questions for Justin from the group? All right, great. Anything else we need to discuss? We got everybody here. Cool. All right. Well, goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you again in a couple days with more updates.
Thank you, everybody.